What's up, Savages? Today, it's been a while. I've been putting it off. You know how I do. I like to always kind of keep you guys on the edge of your seat. But Halo 3 2008 Part 2, let's dive into this shit. Now, I forget where I left off in my last video, but I'm going to pick up here on Dallas. One thing that we need to discuss right away. So I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on myself here at the beginning in Dallas, just because, you know, I have a really cool story, what happened to us as a team at the event. So we're going to start off with that, and then we're going to kind of work into everything else. So without further ado, the team at Dallas that I was going to be playing with is going to be as follows. So the guy on the far left is Defy. That is actually, I believe, his nephew on his lap. The guy in the middle is going to be Best Man, and the guy on the bottom is going to be Legend Pimps. And that fucking stud, that just badass stud on the top right is yours truly, me. Now, for the Halo 3 National Championship, right? So it was basically like a playoffs. Dallas was kind of a playoffs, and then the Halo 3 had a National Championship. You had to play in for the 8th spot. Now, we weren't ranked top 8 by any means, and since forming Legends, we never got top 8. We messed around in the top 12. I didn't care too much. I was too busy getting drunk and chasing after girls because it was my first year of college, but that's besides the point. The big point here is that we actually started busting our ass a lot for Dallas. So we come out into Dallas and we get it by all the way to like winners bracket round 3, I want to say, or like winners bracket round 4. And some people will say, wow, that's a huge advantage. But other people would say, well, you know, you guys didn't warm up at all. Like, you guys didn't get a single series under your wings. And I agree with that. I believe for Halo 3 and for the majority of most games, you really need to start at winners bracket round 1 and really just kind of grind all the way through that. But no excuses here. So we sit down and we're playing Florida Jackalopes. Now, Florida Jackalopes, really good at Halo 1. Halo 2, they didn't do anything. I don't even think they were around. And then Halo 3... they were just kind of no names, right? Like, they weren't anything special at all. So we sit down, and we end up losing to them. And I want to say the series was like 3-2 or like 3-1. Or for all I know, it could have been a 3-0. I don't know. You know when you have that defensive mode where you just kind of lock down completely and you block shit out of your memory? That's what I did. So we lose this round, right? And I'm like, fuck. I walk outside. Defy's out there, Best Man's out there, and Legend Pimp's just like, dude, how the fuck did we lose? Like, and I was just like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, we're gonna come back and win. Just shut the fuck up. And so we're finding ourselves here in losers bracket round 4. We have a humongous journey to get all the way to the 8th spot. So we start climbing back in, okay? So we win one round, we get it out of the way. We win another one. We end up beating Florida Jackalopes in a continuation series. And then we kind of get down to, like, the intense matchups there. So the first team we ended up having to play against was, like, it was Breaking Point, I do believe. I think that's what they're called. It was Chig's team. And so we're playing against Chig's team, and we go up 2-0. And I have to pee this whole time. And I look at the ref, and I'm like, yo, ref, I gotta pee. Is it cool if I take a piss? And he's like, you guys are up 2-0. Just hold it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So this whole time, I'm literally, like, in between deaths, I'm pinching, like, the tip of... I'm on main stage, right? I don't care. I'm pinching the tip of my dick because I have to pee so bad. So we end up losing the game by, like, fucking 10 points on Construction King. And I was like, fuck you. I'm going to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom. Come back. We lose game 4. Find ourselves in a Pit Team Slayer, Game 5, which means Camp Fest as soon as you get around 45 kills. We get to, like, we grab an overshield. It's like 46, 45, something like that, 46, 44, and we push through. And I remember I push through. I hear there's a one-shot in Pit. I drop down from green box. I'm shooting at him. I miss every shot imaginable. I'm talking, I painted a perfect outline around his body. And then I died. And I just remember thinking, oh my god, I blew it. I fucking blew it. I can't believe I blew it. How did I blow it? Somehow, I spawn, like, right on, like, the plat. And I push through again. And it's, like, 49, 48. And we end up getting the last couple of kills. We move on to the grand finals of the open bracket, where we play Eli the Ninja's team. Now, Eli the Ninja and Gunshot. No, it was Gunshot, excuse me. Gunshoot's the COD player. And Gunshot were like my practice noob. Not even practice noob. They were people I would spit on in Halo 2. I didn't even fucking bat an eye for them. I had no respect for these guys. And, like, they had a little bit of the crowd for whatever reason, like, on their side, which I was like, okay, fuck you, right? Like, just get out of here. So we win the second game, we win the first game, capture the flag on the pit. And Eli goes, like, 2-16, and some jackass in the crowd is like, yeah, Eli, you're the best. And I was just like, I was perturbed. I was like, so I take my headset off and I'm like, he just went 2-16. How can you possibly fucking cheer for him? He's awful, right? So we go on and we beat that, and then we get our 8th place. So then once we got in Dallas, so Dallas was very, very different. Just the format and everything about it. So Dallas, the top 8 teams were already locked in. So we ended up playing straight ripping right away. I think we took a game from them, but it didn't matter. The big story here was that Triggers Down. So just real quick, Straight Rippin', this is what their team is. Obviously right now they have Snipe Down. And Snipe Down's just this young talent who just doesn't miss a single fucking shot ever. So everyone's like, okay, Straight Rippin's really good. Instinct, which is the other team, which is going to be Lunchbox on the far right, Walshy in the middle. To the left of him is going to be Roy, and the far left is Soviet. Everyone's thinking it's going to be Straight and Instinct because Triggers Down decided to pick up Karma. Now, Karma left Carbon, and it was a huge, huge thing. No one really knew why, but they ended up winning Dallas. Triggers Down somehow shocked the world, and they win Dallas, and everyone's like, holy shit, like, they're the best team now. So the big story here in Halo 3 that carries on all the way through 2009 is no team ever won back-to-back events, ever. Everyone thought the game was very inconsistent. They thought the placings were sporadic, and that's kind of like how it was. So then we go into the grand finals, and by grand finals, I mean the national championship. So we go into this national championship. We have the 8th seed, and now what MLG would do is the 7th and 8th seed actually got shuffled. So we could have played the number 2 seed, which would have been Instinct, or we could have played the number 1 seed, which was Straight Rippin'. And so we get shuffled up. We lose to Straight Rippin' 3-1. And I think they 3-0'd us. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Straight Rippin' was really good. I wasn't good. That's the bottom line. So we lose to them, and then we're like, okay, we have to win one game versus Classic. We have a good matchup versus Classic. Capture the flag on the pit. I have Overshield. I have Rockets. I'm running the flag. It's the final flag. I go, guys, you just got to escort me back. Defy comes back, I don't have Overshield, excuse me. The other team acquires Overshield. Defy gets taken out. I'm like, Legend Pimps, escort me back. Just walk back with me to our flag so we can secure the cap. He thought it was a great idea to stay there Needler and try to be hero and snipe them off the spawn. Doesn't work that way, buddy. Not in a game 4. It does not work. It doesn't work that way, especially when we're up 2-1. Like, you don't want that. So he lets me go. I have rockets. I'm running the flag. I see the Overshield guy. Shoot one rocket. I miss. Hit the second rocket. Overshield guy's still alive, but I took away his entire Overshield. Flag returns. They end up capping that. And then we go to Amplified Team Slayer, where we get the proverbial D. Now, what else went on there? So everything else kind of went according to plan, with the exception of one of the biggest matchups of all time, which was Carbon versus Triggers Down at this event. Now, Carbon, they decided to pick up Naded in place of Karma, and everyone was like, okay, there's no way Triggers Down can possibly lose this event. There's just no way. But Karma, after Triggers Down, once he joined Triggers Down, he really changed, how he was around everyone. He was just a different person, and he kind of second guessed his decision, even though he won that event. So they match up, and Carbon beats him. Carbon beats him bad. Carbon just beats him. They send him into the losers bracket. Triggers Down is now stuck in 5th, 6th. That's where they were. There was nothing else that happened. They ended up finishing 5th, 6th. Carbon moves on to the grand finals. So it's Carbon the winners bracket finals. Carbon versus Straight Rippin'. And then Carbon versus Straight Rippin' ended up being a 3-1. But the big thing was they land before that event. So each team knew how each other played, right? So everyone was like, oh, this is going to be very close. Because it ended up being a 60-40 split at the LAN that they attended. Because Straight, 9 times out of 10, back in the Halo days, you didn't really have a LAN versus a team that you thought would be in the top 4. You just didn't do that. You picked a team who would be good, but never won in the top 4. You normally grabbed someone who was mediocre and then kind of went on from there. So Straight's playing Carbon in the winners finals. They end up beating them to go on to advance. Okay, that's it. So then Carbon now is waiting to take on Instinct. Instinct comes out. They beat Carbon. It's like I want to say it was like a 3-1. Carbon just wasn't able to come back mentally, but they were still happy. Shockwave was very happy. They went from 7th, 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 and then 3rd. Fun fact here is Ghost Ayami and Shockwave have never placed outside of the top 3 in their entire competitive national championship history. It's a hell of a stat to have. And, you know, Shockwave's a hell of a fucking player. I mean, he was always really good. And he ended up retiring after 2009, but that's neither here nor there. Anywho, so it's now Instinct taking on Straight Rippin'. Straight Rippin' wastes no time. It ends up being a pretty good series, but nothing drastic. And what ended up happening is that you're going to see this picture, and it makes me disgusted. It just makes me disgusted. But no, this team hands down deserved it. Straight Rippin' ends up winning the 2008 national championship. Snipedown goes down as one of the craziest stories in competitive history, which is why the open bracket must seed into the professional bracket, because as it stands now, this story could never happen. The little weird guy who kind of looks like Aches, also a mixture of McLovin, is actually Ace. That is the world champ right there. The Halo 4 world champ is on the far right. T-Squared's on the far right. In the middle, mid-right is actually legit. And fun fact, the 2008 Grand Finals is when the term Beast Mode was actually coined for legit. So when people said, oh yeah, he's going Beast Mode, in Halo and in competitive FPS history, it was actually referring to legit. Now, there's 2 names who come out of the 2008 season who will make the biggest impact in 2009 possible, and that is going to be Pistola, number 1. Pistola from mid-2000, well, basically from 2009 all the way through present day would be argued as just about the best Halo player of all time. The only other person you could throw in the mix from 2009 on would be Roy. So Pistola really came into his own in the competitive 4v4 scene. The other person is going to be Hines. Now, Hines teamed with Ola on Team Ambush, which they would inevitably go to in the Halo 4 season. But Hines and Ola become this duo, and in the offseason, they end up joining Triggers Down, which we will be covering in the next video. Now, the next video is going to be coming up after Comic-Con, so that's probably going to be probably next Wednesday. So I'll probably do it on every Wednesday. I'll probably do a part, but I'll probably squeak another one in there. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them in the comment section. Let me know how you like it. Other than that, I love you, but I don't love you. Take it easy. God.